I stood frozen in the doorway of our bedroom, my heart hammering against my ribs, as I watched my wife, Laura, clutch a photograph I'd never seen before, a picture of a little girl with my eyes, my nose, my dimpled smile. The air felt thick, suffocating, as her trembling hands held the image like it was a grenade, her green eyes blazing with a mix of fury and heartbreak that cut me deeper than any knife ever could. "Who is she, David?" she whispered, her voice a jagged edge, and I knew, in that gut-punching moment, that the life we'd built over 15 years was about to unravel. My mouth opened, but no words came, only the deafening echo of my own guilt, screaming that the secret I'd buried for 3 years had clawed its way to the surface. I'm David Harper, 42, a mid-level marketing exec with a corner office and a knack for spinning stories, ironic, considering the one story I never wanted told was now staring me in the face. Laura, my wife, is 39, a high school English teacher with a laugh that could light up a room and a heart so big it made me believe I could be a better man. We've been married since our 20s, building a life in suburban Chicago, 2 kids, a mortgage, a golden retriever named Max, the whole American dream package. But dreams crack, don't they? Mine started fracturing the night of that company party 3 years ago, when too much bourbon and a fleeting lapse in judgment with my colleague, Sarah, led to a mistake I've been running from ever since. Sarah Mitchell was new to the firm back then, a sharp, ambitious graphic designer with a quick wit and a smile that disarmed me. It was one night, stupid, reckless, a betrayal born of ego and alcohol. I told myself it was nothing, that Laura would never know, that I could shove it into a dark corner of my mind and move on. But 9 months later, Sarah called me, her voice shaking, and said, "David, I had a daughter. Her name's Lily. She's yours." I felt the world tilt, my carefully constructed life teetering on the edge of a cliff. I begged Sarah to keep it quiet, offered money, support, anything to keep her from shattering my marriage. She agreed, reluctantly, and I built a second life in secret, visits to Lily, guilt-soaked checks sent to Sarah, all while lying to Laura's face every single day. That photograph in Laura's hand, it must have come from Sarah. How did she get it? My mind raced, scrambling for an excuse, a lie, anything to stop the bleeding, but Laura's eyes held no room for deception. She stepped closer, her voice low, dangerous. "Don't lie to me, David. Not now. Who is this child?" My knees buckled, and I sank onto the edge of our bed, the weight of my cowardice crushing me. I wanted to tell her everything, to confess and beg for forgiveness, but the words stuck in my throat like broken glass. All I could think was, how do I explain a daughter Laura never knew existed? How do I tell her I've been living a lie while she's been planning our future? The room spun, and I realized the truth was no longer mine to control. What will Laura do when she hears the truth I've hidden for so long? Every morning starts the same, a carefully choreographed dance to keep the lie alive, but the cracks in my performance are starting to show, and I'm terrified Laura's beginning to notice. I wake at 6, the Chicago suburbs still cloaked in pre-dawn gray, and slip out of bed while Laura sleeps, her auburn hair fanned across the pillow, her face soft in a way that twists my gut with guilt. I tiptoe downstairs, start the coffee, and let Max, our golden retriever, out into the backyard, all while my mind churns. Did I delete that text from Sarah? Did I hide the bank statement showing the monthly transfers? The weight of my secret is a stone in my chest, heavy, unyielding, and every day I wonder how much longer I can carry it before it crushes me. Laura and I have 2 kids, Ethan, 12, and Sophie, 9, who fill our craftsman-style home with noise and chaos, a welcome distraction from the tension simmering beneath my skin. Ethan's obsessed with basketball, always dribbling in the driveway, while Sophie's forever sketching animals in her notebook, her tongue poking out in concentration. They're the glue holding me together, the reason I keep this charade going. Laura's their rock, though. She's the one who packs their lunches, checks their homework, and reads Sophie bedtime stories with voices for every character. I'm the dad who shows up late to games, distracted, my phone buzzing with messages I can't let Laura see. I tell myself I'm protecting them, shielding our family from the fallout of my mistake, but deep down, I know I'm just a coward hiding behind their smiles. My days are split between 2 worlds. At the office, I'm David Harper, the guy with the easy laugh and the knack for closing deals, but every time I pass Sarah's cubicle, my stomach lurches. She's professional, distant, her dark eyes avoiding mine unless it's about work. We've settled into an uneasy truce. She raises Lily alone, I send money, and we don't talk unless it's about our daughter. Lily's 3 now, a bright, curly-haired girl who calls me Davy during my secret visits to Sarah's apartment in Evanston. Those visits are my lifeline and my torment. Lily's giggle when I push her on the swing, the way she hugs me with her tiny arms, it's joy laced with poison, because every second with her is a betrayal of Laura. I tell myself I'm doing right by Lily, being a father without destroying my family, but the lie tastes bitter, and I'm running out of ways to swallow it. Back home, Laura's warmth used to be my anchor, but lately, there's a distance I can't bridge. She's still the woman I fell for, sharp, kind, with a dry humor that catches me off guard, but her touches are fleeting now, her smile strained. Last night, she was grating papers at the kitchen table, her glasses sliding down her nose, and I tried to kiss her cheek. She flinched, just a fraction, but it felt like a slap. "You okay?" I asked, my voice too casual, masking the panic clawing my throat. "Just tired," she said, not looking up, but her fingers tightened around her pen, and I wondered what she wasn't saying. Is she sensing my lies? Does she know I'm slipping away to another life? I'm paranoid, scanning her face for clues, but she's unreadable, and it's driving me insane. The kids don't notice, thank God. Ethan's too busy arguing about screen time, and Sophie's lost in her art. But there are moments when the guilt nearly drowns me, like when Sophie shows me her drawing of our family, stick figures holding hands, and I wonder where Lily would fit in that picture. Or when Ethan asks why I'm always on my phone, and I snap at him, hating myself for it. I'm juggling two families, two sets of lies, and the strain is carving me hollow. I've started losing sleep, lying awake while Laura breathes softly beside me, my mind replaying that night with Sarah, the call about Lily, every choice that led me here. I tell myself I love Laura, that I'm fighting to keep our life intact, but love feels like a flimsy excuse when I'm betraying her every day. There are subtle signs I'm slipping. Last week, I left my work bag open, and Laura picked it up to move it. "What's this?" she asked, holding a toy, a tiny plastic giraffe Lily gave me during my last visit. My heart stopped, but I laughed it off. "Must have grabbed it from Sophie's room by mistake," I said, too quick, too smooth. Laura nodded, but her eyes lingered on me, and I felt like she was peeling back my skin, searching for the truth. Another time, I came home late, smelling of Sarah's lavender hand soap from washing dishes after Lily's dinner. Laura hugged me, then pulled back, her nose wrinkling. "New cologne?" she asked, and I mumbled something about the office soap. She didn't push, but her silence was loud, and I'm starting to think she's collecting these moments, piecing together a puzzle I can't let her solve. Work's no escape either. Sarah's been colder lately, her texts about Lily curt, almost accusatory. Last month, she asked for more money, daycare costs, she said, and I wired it without question, but her tone felt like a warning. Does she want more from me? Is she tired of our deal? I can't ask, because opening that door risks everything. Meanwhile, my boss, Greg, keeps pushing me for a promotion I don't want. More responsibility means less time to juggle my secrets. I'm stretched thin, my lies fraying at the edges, and every day feels like I'm one misstep from disaster. This morning, Laura was quieter than usual, stirring her coffee while the kids bickered over cereal. I tried to fill the silence, joking about Ethan's jump shot, but she barely smiled. When I grabbed my keys to leave, she said, "David, we need to talk tonight." Her voice was calm, but there was steel in it, and my pulse spiked. "About what?" I asked, forcing a grin. "Just us," she said, and turned away to pack Sophie's lunch. I left the house with my heart in my throat, her words echoing like a countdown. What does she know? Has she found something? The photograph from that night hasn't surfaced yet, but I feel it looming, a shadow waiting to swallow me whole. What will Laura say tonight, and can I keep my secret buried one more day? Laura's words, "We need to talk tonight," hang over me like a storm cloud all day, each syllable tightening the knot in my chest as I sit at my desk, pretending to focus on spreadsheets while my mind spins out of control. The office hums around me, phones ringing, keyboards clacking, but I'm trapped in my head, replaying her tone, the way her green eyes locked onto mine, searching for something I'm desperate to keep hidden. Does she know about Lily? Has Sarah said something? The uncertainty is a vice, squeezing my lungs until every breath feels like a fight. I'm David Harper, the man who's supposed to have it all together, but right now, I'm unraveling, and the fear that Laura's piecing together my lies is eating me alive. The day drags, each hour a slow drip of dread. I check my phone obsessively, half expecting a text from Laura with an accusation or from Sarah with some new demand. Nothing comes, but the silence feels worse, like the calm before a hurricane. I try to distract myself, joking with Greg about a client pitch, but my laugh sounds hollow, and he gives me a look, half concern, half confusion, that makes me wonder if my facade is cracking there too. Sarah passes my desk at noon, her arms crossed, her face unreadable. "Lily's got a checkup tomorrow," she mutters, barely pausing. "Just letting you know." I nod, my throat tight, and she's gone before I can ask if she sent Laura anything, like that photograph I'm terrified is out there. The thought of Sarah breaking our deal sends a chill down my spine. She's kept quiet for 3 years, but what if she's done playing along? Back home, the routine feels like a minefield. Laura's in the kitchen when I walk in, chopping vegetables for dinner, the knife's rhythmic thud echoing my heartbeat. Ethan's at basketball practice, Sophie's at a friend's, and the house is too quiet, amplifying every glance, every pause. "Hey," I say, forcing a smile, but Laura's response is a tight nod, her hands moving faster, like she's slicing through more than just carrots. I want to ask what's wrong, to beg her to tell me what she knows, but my cowardice keeps me mute, clinging to the hope that I can still control this. I offer to help with dinner, but she waves me off, her voice clipped. "I've got it, David. Go check the mail or something." It's a small thing, but it stings, and I'm left wondering if she's pushing me away to gather her thoughts, or her evidence. The mail. My heart lurches as I step outside, the evening air cool against my clammy skin. What if there's another clue, another photograph? The mailbox is empty except for a utility bill, but the relief is fleeting. Back inside, Laura's setting the table, her movements precise, deliberate, like she's holding herself together by sheer will. I try to fill the silence, asking about her day, her students, anything to keep her from saying the words I dread. She answers in monosyllables, her eyes darting to mine and then away, and I feel like I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, waiting for her to push me off. Dinner is tense, the kids return a temporary buffer, Ethan's talking about a new play his coach taught him, Sophie's showing off a drawing of Max, but Laura's quiet, her fork pushing food around her plate, and I can't shake the feeling she's watching me, waiting. After the kids are in bed, Laura finally speaks. "David, sit down," she says, her voice low, steady, but there's an edge to it that makes my blood run cold. We're in the living room, the TV off, the silence suffocating. I sit on the couch, my hands clasped to stop them from shaking, and she stands across from me, arms crossed, her face a mask of hurt and suspicion. "What's going on with you?" she asks, and I try to laugh it off, but it dies in my throat. "Nothing, babe, just work stress," I say, but the lie feels flimsy, and her eyes narrow, like she's seeing through me. "Don't," she snaps, and the word is a whip, cracking the air between us. "You've been distant for months. Sneaking around, always on your phone, coming home late smelling like something else. What are you hiding?" My mind races, scrambling for a deflection. "Laura, I'm just busy, you know how work gets," I say, but my voice cracks, and she steps closer, her gaze piercing. "Don't lie to me, David. I found something." My heart stops, the room tilting as I brace for the photograph, for Lily's face to shatter everything. But she pulls out a receipt from her pocket, a coffee shop in Evanston, dated last week, a place I went after seeing Lily. "You said you were working late," she says, her voice trembling now, tears brimming. "This is from a day you told me you were stuck at the office. Why were you in Evanston? What's going on?" I open my mouth, but nothing comes out, my lies tangling like barbed wire. The receipt isn't proof of Lily, but it's close, too close, and I'm drowning in the fear that she's one step away from the truth. I had a client meeting, I stammer, but it's weak, and Laura's shaking her head, her tears spilling over. "Stop it, David. I'm not stupid. I've been trying to trust you, to believe you're still the man I married, but you're slipping away, and I don't know why." Her voice breaks, and it's like a knife to my heart, because I love her, I do, but I've built a wall of secrets between us, and it's crumbling. I want to reach for her, to hold her and confess everything, but the thought of losing her, of losing Ethan and Sophie, keeps me frozen. "Laura, I swear, it's nothing," I say, but the words taste like ash, and she turns away, wiping her face. "I can't do this tonight," she whispers, heading for the stairs. But we're not done talking. She leaves me in the dark living room, the weight of her words crushing me. I sink into the couch, my head in my hands, my mind a storm of panic and guilt. She's suspicious, closer to the truth than ever, and I don't know how to stop her from finding it. Did Sarah send that receipt somehow? Is she trying to force my hand? Or is Laura digging, following me, piecing it together? The photograph is still out there, a ticking bomb, and I can feel it getting closer. I need to talk to Sarah, to make sure she's still on my side, but the thought of facing her terrifies me almost as much as facing Laura. I'm trapped, my lies closing in, and I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. What will Laura find next, and how much closer is she to uncovering my secret family? The photograph is in Laura's hand again, and this time, there's no escaping it. Her eyes, red-rimmed and blazing, pin me to the spot as she thrusts the image forward, the little girl with my dimples staring back like a ghost I can't outrun. It's Saturday morning, the kids are at their grandparents', and the house feels like a courtroom. Laura the judge and jury, her voice shaking with a fury I've never heard before. Who is she, David? She demands, and the question isn't a whisper anymore, it's a scream, raw and jagged, tearing through the fragile walls I've built around my lies. My mouth is dry, my heart pounding so hard I'm sure she can hear it, and I know, in this gut-wrenching moment, that the truth I've buried for 3 years is about to explode, shattering everything I've fought to protect. I stumble back, collapsing onto the couch, my hands trembling as I try to find words that don't exist. Laura's standing over me, the photograph clutched so tightly her knuckles are white, and I see the pain in her face, the betrayal already sinking in before I've said a word. I found this in your jacket pocket, she says, her voice breaking, tears streaming down her cheeks. A little girl, David. She looks just like you. And there's a note on the back, Lily, age 3, loves her Davy. Who is Lily? Who's calling you Davy? Her words are a tidal wave, crashing over me, and I'm drowning, my carefully crafted lies dissolving like sand. I want to deny it, to spin another story, but the photograph is undeniable, and Laura's eyes are begging for the truth, even as they brace for the worst. Laura, I'm so sorry, I start, my voice barely a whisper, but she cuts me off, stepping closer, her anger a living thing. Don't you dare apologize yet, she snaps. Tell me who she is. Now. My chest tightens, and I feel like I'm falling, the ground gone beneath me. I take a shaky breath, and the words spill out, clumsy, broken, each one a nail in the coffin of our marriage. Her name's Lily. She's my daughter. The room goes deathly quiet, the air sucked out, and Laura's face crumples, her hand flying to her mouth as a sob escapes. Your daughter, she chokes out, staggering back like I've struck her. How? With who? I can't look at her, my eyes fixed on the floor, but I force myself to keep going, to rip off the bandage and let the wound bleed. It was 3 years ago, I say, my voice hollow. The company party. I got drunk, and I made a mistake with Sarah, a colleague. It was one night, Laura, I swear, but she got pregnant, and Lily's mine. The confession feels like vomiting glass, sharp and painful, and Laura's sobbing now, her whole body shaking as she sinks into a chair, the photograph falling to the floor. You have a daughter, she whispers, more to herself than to me, and the disbelief in her voice cuts deeper than her anger. 3 years, David. You've been lying to me for 3 years. You've been seeing this child, this other family, while I've been here, loving you, raising our kids, thinking we were okay. Her words are a knife, twisting, and I want to reach for her, but she flinches away, her eyes wild with hurt. How could you, she cries, her voice rising, breaking. How could you look me in the eye every day, sleep next to me, tell me you love me, while you're living this double life? I try to answer, but my throat closes, the weight of my guilt choking me. I didn't want to hurt you, I manage, but it's pathetic, and she laughs, a bitter, broken sound. Didn't want to hurt me. You've destroyed me, David. You've destroyed us. She's on her feet now, pacing, her hands tearing at her hair, and I feel like I'm watching our life burn to the ground. What else, she demands. What else are you hiding? Are you still with her? Do you love her? The questions hit like bullets, and I shake my head, desperate to salvage something. No, Laura, it was one night. I don't love Sarah. I love you. I've been trying to protect you, to keep our family together. Protect me, she screams, her face contorted with rage and pain. You've been lying to my face, sneaking off to see your daughter, sending money, what, building a whole other life while I'm planning our anniversary. You call that protecting me? She's crying so hard she can barely breathe, and I'm crying too, tears blurring my vision, because I know I've lost her, and there's no way back. I trusted you, she whispers, her voice cracking. I gave you everything, 15 years, 2 kids, my whole heart, and you've been carrying this secret, this child, like a bomb waiting to go off. How could you do this to me? To Ethan and Sophie. The mention of our kids is a gut punch, and I see their faces, Ethan's lopsided grin, Sophie's drawings, and I realize the fallout won't just destroy Laura, it'll shatter them too. I didn't want them to know, I say, my voice breaking. I thought I could keep it separate, keep it from touching us. Laura stares at me, her eyes hollow, like she's seeing a stranger. You thought you could keep a daughter secret. You thought I wouldn't find out. That I wouldn't feel you pulling away, smell someone else's soap on you, notice the way you flinch when I ask where you've been. She's shaking, her voice raw, and I realize she's been carrying her own pain, her own suspicions, for longer than I thought. I'm done, David, she says, and the finality in her voice is a blade through my heart. I can't look at you right now. I can't be in this house with you. She grabs her keys, her purse, and heads for the door, and I'm on my feet, panic surging. Laura, please, don't go. We can talk, we can fix this, but she turns, her face a mask of devastation. Fix this? You have a daughter I didn't know existed. You've been lying to me for years. There's no fixing this. The door slams behind her, and I'm alone, the photograph on the floor staring up at me, Lily's innocent smile a cruel reminder of the life I've broken. I sink to my knees, my chest heaving, the silence deafening. Laura's gone, and I don't know if she's coming back. The truth is out, a poison spreading through our lives, and I'm left with the wreckage of my choices. What will she do now? Will she tell the kids? Will she confront Sarah? The questions swirl, and I'm terrified of the answers, but one thing is clear, the life I've been clinging to is gone, and I'm the one who burned it down. Where has Laura gone, and what will she do with the truth that's tearing us apart? The house is a tomb without Laura, the silence so heavy it presses against my chest, each empty room a reminder of the life I've shattered with my lies. She's been gone for 2 days, her absence a gaping wound that bleeds guilt and regret. I'm alone with my thoughts, pacing the hardwood floors of our suburban Chicago home, the kids still at their grandparents', oblivious to the storm that's torn their parents apart. Laura's text last night was curt, staying at my sister's. Don't call. I stared at it for hours, my thumb hovering over the reply button, but what could I say? I'd confessed to a second family, to a daughter named Lily, to 3 years of deception. The photograph of Lily's dimpled smile, left crumpled on the living room floor, haunts me, a silent accusation that I've destroyed the woman I love and the family we built together. I try to keep busy, washing dishes, folding laundry, but every task feels hollow, a pathetic attempt to hold on to normalcy. The kids' things, Ethan's basketball, Sophie's sketchbook, stab at me, because I know they'll come home to a fractured world. Laura hasn't told them yet, as far as I know, but the thought of their faces when they learn about Lily, about my betrayal, makes my stomach churn. I'm a ghost in my own home, haunted by the echo of Laura's sobs, her voice screaming, "You've destroyed us." I want to fix it, to beg for forgiveness, but the truth is a chasm between us, and I'm on the wrong side, alone with my shame. The outside world isn't any kinder. At work, I'm a mess, my presentations sloppy, my emails unanswered. Greg pulls me aside, his brow furrowed. David, what's going on? You're dropping the ball. I mumble about personal issues, but his skeptical look tells me I'm not fooling anyone. Sarah's absence at the office doesn't help, she called in sick, or so she says, but I'm paranoid she's avoiding me, maybe even talking to Laura. Did she send that photograph? The question gnaws at me, but I'm too afraid to confront her, too afraid of what I might learn. My secret's out, but the fallout's just beginning, and I'm bracing for the next blow. Laura's sister, Emily, lives across town, and I drive by her house like a stalker, hoping for a glimpse of Laura's car, a sign she's okay. I don't stop, her text was clear, but the urge to bang on the door, to fall at her feet and plead, is overwhelming. Instead, I park a block away, my hands gripping the steering wheel, tears burning my eyes. I love her, I do, but love feels like a flimsy excuse when I've spent years lying, sneaking off to see Lily, sending money to Sarah while Laura planned our future. The memory of her face, crumpled with betrayal, is a knife twisting in my gut. I don't know if she'll ever come back, and the thought of losing her forever makes me want to scream. The kids come home that evening, and their presence is both a lifeline and a torment. Ethan's quiet, sensing something's wrong, his usual chatter about basketball replaced by wary glances. Sophie clings to me, her small arms tight around my waist, and I hug her back, fighting tears. "Where's Mom?" she asks, her voice small, and I lie again, the words bitter on my tongue. "She's visiting Aunt Emily for a bit. She'll be back soon." Ethan's eyes narrow, but he doesn't push, and I'm grateful, because I don't know how to tell them their dad's a liar, a cheater, a man who built a second family behind their backs. Bedtime is agony, reading Sophie a story, tucking Ethan in, because every moment feels stolen, a lie I don't deserve to live. The next morning, I get a call from Laura's best friend, Karen, her voice sharp with disgust. "David, what the hell did you do?" My heart sinks, she knows. Laura must have told her, and now the scandal's spreading, a wildfire I can't contain. "She's a wreck," Karen says, and I can hear her anger through the phone. "How could you have a kid with someone else and not tell her? Do you know what you've done to her?" I try to explain, to justify, but my words are weak, and Karen cuts me off. "Save it. She deserves better than you." The call ends, and I'm left staring at my phone, the weight of her words crushing me. The truth is out there now, seeping into our social circle, and I can feel the eyes of judgment closing in. I go to work, hoping for distraction, but the office feels like a trap. My colleagues whisper when I pass, their glances heavy with curiosity. Someone's heard something, maybe from Karen, maybe from Sarah, and the rumor mill is churning. I want to disappear, to run from the shame, but there's nowhere to go. I try calling Laura, despite her warning, but it goes to voicemail, her cheerful greeting a cruel reminder of what I've lost. I leave a message, my voice breaking. "Laura, please, I'm so sorry. I'll do anything to make this right. Just talk to me." But I know it's futile, she's not ready, maybe she'll never be, and I'm left with the wreckage of my choices. That night, alone in our bed, I dream of Lily, her tiny hand in mine, her giggle filling the air. I wake with a start, my chest tight, because I love her too, and the thought of losing her, of Sarah cutting me off, is another kind of pain. I'm torn between two families, neither whole, both broken by my actions. I check my phone, still no word from Laura, but there's a text from Sarah, "We need to talk. Tomorrow." My blood runs cold. What does she want? Is she angry Laura knows? Is she planning to demand more, to expose me further? The uncertainty is a noose, tightening with every passing hour. By the third day, the isolation is suffocating. The kids are at school, the house empty, and I'm unraveling, my guilt a constant companion. I find myself holding the photograph of Lily, her innocent smile a mirror of my own, and I wonder how I let it come to this. I betrayed Laura, yes, but I'm also failing Lily, sneaking her into my life like a secret instead of giving her the father she deserves. The thought of Laura telling Ethan and Sophie, of them hating me, is unbearable, but so is the idea of losing Lily, of never hearing her call me Davy again. I'm a man split in two, and neither half is whole. As I sit in the dark, the doorbell rings, sharp and sudden, jolting me from my spiral. My heart leaps, Laura. But when I open the door, it's Emily, her face hard, her arms crossed. "We need to talk, David," she says, and her voice is ice. "Laura's falling apart, and you need to hear what you've done." I step back, my stomach dropping, because this is it, the fallout spreading, and I'm about to face the consequences head on. What will Emily reveal about Laura's pain, and how much worse can this get? Emily's standing in my living room, her eyes like daggers, and I feel like a man on trial, my sins laid bare under her unrelenting gaze. Laura's sister has always been protective, a fierce guard dog for her younger sibling, and now she's here, her voice low and venomous, ready to tear into me for the pain I've caused. "She's broken, David," Emily says, her words slicing through the quiet of the house. "Laura's at my place, crying herself to sleep, barely eating, because you decided to play house with another woman and a kid you never told her about." My chest tightens, guilt and shame churning like acid, and I want to argue, to defend myself, but the truth is a weight I can't shrug off. I've destroyed the woman I love, and Emily's here to make sure I feel every ounce of that devastation. I sink onto the couch, my hands shaking, as Emily paces, her anger filling the room like smoke. She trusted you, she says, her voice cracking. 15 years, 2 kids, and you throw it away for what? A one-night mistake you didn't have the guts to confess. You let her find out through a photograph, David. A photograph. Her words hit like punches, and I flinch, picturing Laura's face, crumpled with betrayal, clutching Lily's picture. I didn't mean for this to happen, I say, my voice hoarse, but Emily scoffs, her eyes blazing. You didn't mean it. You've been sneaking off to see your daughter for 3 years. You meant every single lie you told her. I want to protest, to say I was protecting Laura, but the words die in my throat, because Emily's right, I chose cowardice over honesty, and now I'm paying the price. She tells me Laura's barely functioning, that she's talking about leaving, about telling Ethan and Sophie the truth. The thought of my kids knowing, of their trust in me shattering, is a knife to my heart. They don't know yet, Emily says, her voice softening just a fraction, but she can't keep this from them forever. You need to figure out how you're going to face them, because this isn't just about you and Laura anymore. I nod, my eyes burning, but inside, I'm spiraling, terrified of the moment my kids look at me with the same disgust I see in Emily's face. She leaves me with a warning, fix this, David, or you'll lose them all. The door closes, and I'm alone again, the silence deafening, my mind racing with the impossible task of salvaging what's left of my family. I can't stay still, so I drive to Sarah's apartment in Evanston, my hands gripping the wheel, my heart pounding with dread. I need to know if she sent that photograph, if she's the one who lit the fuse on my life. When she opens the door, her face is guarded, tired, Lily playing in the background with a toy train. What do you want, David? Sarah asks, her voice flat, and I step inside, my words tumbling out. Did you send Laura that picture? Did you tell her about Lily? Her eyes narrow, and she shakes her head, her jaw tight. No, David. I didn't. I've kept your secret, like you asked, even though it's killing me to raise her alone while you play perfect husband. Her words sting, and I realize she's been carrying her own pain, her own resentment, all this time. Then how did she get it? I ask, my voice rising, and Sarah shrugs, her eyes flickering with something like pity. Maybe you weren't as careful as you thought. Maybe you left it somewhere. Or maybe Laura's been watching you closer than you realized. The idea hits me like a slap, Laura, suspicious, digging through my things, finding the photograph I must have slipped into my jacket pocket after a visit with Lily. My carelessness, my arrogance, thinking I could juggle 2 lives without slipping, it's all crashing down. Sarah softens, just a bit, and adds, Lily misses you. She keeps asking for Davy. What are you going to do about her? I don't have an answer, because I'm torn. Lily's my daughter, but Laura's my wife, and I've betrayed them both in different ways. Back home, I start to pick up the pieces, or at least try. I call a therapist, a desperate move to understand how I let myself become this man, a liar, a cheater, a father who's failing everyone. The therapist's voice is calm, professional, but her questions cut deep. Why did you keep this secret? What were you afraid of losing? I don't have clear answers, just a mess of guilt and fear, but talking helps, if only to keep me from drowning. I start writing a letter to Laura, pouring out my regret, my love, my promises to do better, but I don't send it. It feels too small, too late, and I'm not sure she'd even read it. Instead, I focus on the kids, picking them up from school, trying to be the dad they need, even as I brace for the moment Laura tells them the truth. Ethan's quieter than usual, his eyes searching mine, and I wonder if he's heard whispers, maybe from Laura, maybe from Karen's kids. Sophie's still her bright self, showing me a new drawing of Max, but there's a hesitance in her hug, like she senses the storm. I cook dinner, a simple pasta they love, and we eat together, their chatter a fragile shield against my fear. After they're in bed, I sit in the dark, staring at my phone, hoping for a message from Laura, but it's silent. The loneliness is crushing, but it's also a spark. I realize I can't keep living like this, hiding, running. I need to face what I've done, to start rebuilding, even if it's from ashes. The next morning, I meet with Sarah again, this time at a park, Lily swinging nearby as we talk. I want to be in her life, I say, my voice steady for the first time in days. Not in secret anymore. Laura knows, and I need to figure out how to make this right for everyone. Sarah's eyes soften, but there's a wariness there too. You can't just waltz in and out of her life, David. She needs stability. I nod, the weight of my responsibility settling in, and I realize this is my first step, not lying, not hiding, but owning my role as Lily's father, even if it means facing Laura's wrath. As I drive home, my phone buzzes, a text from Laura. I'm coming back tomorrow. We need to talk about the kids. My heart leaps, then sinks, because it's not forgiveness, not yet, but it's a door cracking open. I'm terrified, but there's a flicker of hope, a chance to start repairing the damage, to be honest, maybe for the first time in years. But what will Laura say when she walks through that door, and can I face the truth she's bringing with her? What will Laura demand when she returns, and will it be the end of us or a chance to rebuild? Laura's car pulls into the driveway at dusk, the engines hum a quiet prelude to the reckoning I've been dreading, and my heart hammers as I watch her step out, her face a mask of exhaustion and resolve that makes me ache with the weight of what I've done. The Chicago suburbs are still, the golden retriever Max whining softly at my side, as if he senses the storm about to break. Laura's been gone a week, staying with her sister Emily, and her text yesterday, "We need to talk about the kids," has haunted me, a lifeline and a guillotine all at once. I'm David Harper, a man who betrayed his wife with a secret daughter, Lily, and now, as Laura walks through the door, I know this moment will define whether there's anything left to salvage from the wreckage of our 15-year marriage. She sets her bag down in the foyer, her green eyes meeting mine, and there's no warmth there, only a raw, guarded pain that cuts deeper than any words could. "Where are Ethan and Sophie?" she asks, her voice steady but brittle, and I tell her they're at a sleepover, giving us space to talk. She nods, moving to the living room, and I follow, my stomach churning, every step heavy with the fear that this could be the end. We sit across from each other, the couch a chasm between us, and the silence is suffocating, filled with the ghost of her screams, her tears, the photograph of Lily that shattered our world. "I've been thinking," she says finally, her hands clasped tight, "about what this means for us, for the kids, for everything." I brace myself, my throat tight, because I know whatever comes next will change our lives forever. "I can't trust you, David," she says, and the words are a blade, slicing through any hope I'd clung to. "You had a daughter with another woman, and you lied to me for 3 years. You looked me in the eye, held me, promised me forever, while you were building a secret life with Sarah and Lily." Her voice cracks, tears brimming, but she doesn't look away, and I feel the weight of her pain, her betrayal, like it's my own. "I've spent days trying to understand why," she continues, "to find some reason I could forgive you, but every time I think of you with Lily, calling you Davy, it's like I'm losing you all over again." I want to speak, to beg, but her eyes silence me, and I realize this is her moment to reclaim the truth I stole from her. "I've decided to stay," she says, and my heart leaps, a flicker of hope igniting, but her next words douse it. "Not for you, David. For Ethan and Sophie. They need stability, and I won't let your mistakes rip their world apart." She's calm now, resolute, and I see the strength in her, the woman who's always been their rock, now standing firm against the chaos I created. "But we're done," she adds, her voice low, final. "I can't be your wife anymore. We'll co-parent, we'll live here for now, but I need space, and I need you to respect that." The words hit like a tidal wave, and I'm drowning, tears burning my eyes, because I love her, and I've lost her, not to anger, but to the quiet, unshakable truth that I broke her trust beyond repair. We talk about logistics, separate bedrooms, schedules for the kids, how to tell them about Lily. Laura's already decided they need to know, but gently, in therapy, to protect their hearts. "They deserve the truth," she says, and I nod, my guilt a stone in my chest, because I know she's right, and I hate myself for putting her in this position. I tell her about my meetings with Sarah, my commitment to be a father to Lily openly, no more secrets, and Laura's eyes flicker with something, pain, maybe, or resignation, but she doesn't argue. "Do what you need to for her," she says, "but don't expect me to be okay with it. Not yet." Her honesty is a mirror, reflecting my failures, and I realize healing for her means letting me go, even if it tears me apart. The days that follow are a blur of pain and small steps forward. We tell Ethan and Sophie in a family therapy session, their faces crumpling as they learn about Lily, their half-sister. Ethan's angry, his voice sharp, "How could you do that to Mom?" And Sophie's quiet, her eyes wide, clutching Laura's hand. I take their hurt, their questions, because I deserve it, and I promise to be better, to be honest, even as I know their trust in me is fractured. Laura's strength carries us through, her focus on the kids a beacon in the chaos, and I'm in awe of her, even as I grieve the love we've lost. I keep seeing my therapist, digging into why I let myself betray Laura, why I hid Lily instead of facing the truth. It's hard, peeling back layers of ego, fear, and shame, but it's also a lifeline, helping me understand the man I want to be, not for Laura, but for my kids, all three of them. I visit Lily regularly now, no more sneaking, and her giggle, her tiny hand in mine, is a joy laced with responsibility. Sarah and I set boundaries, co-parenting with respect, and I'm grateful for her patience, her willingness to let me be Lily's dad, even after my failures. Laura and I settle into a new normal, strangers sharing a house, our interactions polite but distant. She's healing, I can see it, her laugh with the kids, her focus on her teaching, the way she started painting again, a passion she'd set aside. I'm proud of her, even as it hurts to be on the outside, watching her rebuild without me. I'm healing too, slowly, learning to live with my mistakes, to find strength in honesty, in facing the consequences head-on. I write Laura a letter, not to win her back, but to acknowledge her pain, to thank her for the years we had, to promise I'll respect her boundaries. I leave it on her dresser, and she never mentions it, but I hope it helps, even a little. Months pass, and the scandal fades, the whispers at work, among friends, growing quiet. Ethan starts talking to me again, small steps toward forgiveness, and Sophie draws a picture of Lily, a tentative bridge to her sister. I'm grateful for these moments, for the chance to rebuild, even if it's not the life I'd imagined. One evening, as I sit on the porch, Max at my feet, I reflect on the lesson carved into my soul: love isn't enough without truth, and trust, once broken, takes time and pain to mend. I've lost Laura, but I'm gaining myself, a man who's learning to live honestly, to love his children fiercely, to accept the consequences of his choices. As the stars emerge, I hear Laura's voice inside, reading to Sophie, and I smile, bittersweet, because she's finding her way, and maybe, just maybe, I am too. But what will the future hold for us, co-parents bound by love for our kids, yet forever changed by the truth that tore us apart? Can time heal the wounds I've caused, or will the shadow of my betrayal linger forever?